Hi guys, Bink here. This is episode 12 of Let's Learn AGEOD Civil War II. We're continuing just right where we left off on the last episode. We were just right in the middle of the movement when we ran out of time. So we were going to move McClellan to here to just, let's make sure we've got him on what we want him on. We want a normal defense. We don't want him to be get all wiggy on us. Let's see, I guess we want to look at what's going on here in West Virginia. This guy took a pretty good smack. He doesn't have, he's got no cohesion here. I think advancing here was maybe a mistake. Maybe a little premature. The weather's not bad, so maybe we'll send him back there. I wonder if we could bring Blanker. I had originally thought we would bring Blanker up this way, following this road, but the terrain here is getting a little rough, and we're starting. It's late September here now, so we're going to be getting to the the weather's going to start turning, and I think that might be maybe not a smart thing to do in this at this time. I think we're just a little late in the year to be sending a force without supply wagons off into the rough country. So maybe we are gonna see what's going on, but maybe pop back to hold Clarksburg and have kind of a blocking force here, just to maybe even bring him back. You know, he can always come back if the weather turns. If not, he can maybe do something else. This is something that we need to consider here too. We have Beauregard, who we've been wondering where he's gone. He doesn't appear to have a large force, but we don't have much of a detection value in this region. What we do have is probably more due to whatever our detection, I don't know, maybe it's due to the fact that we have some loyalty here, that we're able to see this as well as we can. He doesn't appear to have much of a force, so, but it is something to keep an eye on. Okay, down on the peninsula, Butler seems to be just doing his thing quite nicely. We could actually put him in charge of an army here, but I don't. Is there any downside to giving him an army here? What it would do is it would take away the half penalty he's taken in his command points, and we would get rid of that. I don't know. Is there any downside to making him? I'm somewhat hesitant because I think we wouldn't use it elsewhere, but then we would have to pay a penalty to put someone else other than him in charge. I don't know. He's probably a pretty good political general. Political value is 20, for instance, so it would probably be kind of tough to get him out of there if we did give him one. So I don't see any reason to do it at the moment. Whoops, I'm not allowed to enter. At least one of my units can't enter this. Oh, I guess I may have hit something wrong there. So we're going to do the same thing with Butler that we've been doing. We're going to put him on an offensive posture and just work our way up the peninsula here to see what these guys might be doing. Now we have put all of our ships back into the port here. We don't have anything out, yet we have a good blockade on Norfolk and on Richmond. So that is apparently just the fort doing that. Interesting. I wonder why it wasn't doing it before. Maybe it was and I just didn't notice. What's our blockade strength? Our blockade strength is 20. I don't know why it was 25 for a little while and now it's not, but alright, let's just run through our units here. Grant. Well, we'll stick him in Halleck's command. He is a major general, so he's going to be of some value to us. So we'll have to see. Keep an eye on him. There's our 2 ironclads we're building. We have this gunboat squadron. Didn't I have... Oh, I ended up sticking it in with this guy. Okay. So Halleck will continue training up these forces. And we're going to... we're getting actually pretty decent force here now. We've got 243 power, but you can see its cohesion is still at half. So these units just now have come out of their training, and they still need a little organization. What's next? That guy. I'm going to put him on sentry status so we don't shoot him in our... Okay, back out here. I think we've talked about this, and just going to leave him there. This force is in Southern California. I don't want to put him on an attacking stance. The terrain here is hills, so it will provide a defensive advantage of some amount. Let's see what it says. Artillery is at full. Cavalry. It looks like just cavalry is reduced in the hills, and the frontage widths it's talking about down here. That's not something that I know a great deal about. So it's with the more advanced combat stuff that I was talking about earlier. Not too worried about that, but I don't want to burn through these troops, you know, in a situation where we really don't have an advantage. In fact, we're probably at a pretty good disadvantage here. We have plenty of defensive power here. If he should decide to attack us, that's going to open up some of these that will activate some of these units for us. So I don't expect he will go into attack. He's out of supply. I think he's just going to start wasting away now. And we'll bring him up. Okay, we're there. This force here, I don't know what to do with him other than sit here and eat his supply. Maybe what we could do in Valencia here. That's producing 6 supply a turn. I wonder if we took one of these artillery units out. Say the 12-pounders out. What is their usage here? That's 2 per turn, and that would give us 10 per turn. We're still the basic problem is we're just not getting enough supply in here to. So I guess we'll just sit tight. I guess I don't know what else to do. We do have a Michigan brigade is now popped up. I'm thinking let's send this down to this force. Make sure they're on rail. We have an Illinois Volunteer Brigade, the same thing with that. I really would like to get this force built up here so we can start doing something down here in Kentucky. Indiana Volunteers. Oh, I think these might have been all of those regiments or brigades that were raised when it had that call for volunteers thing. It said it had raised something like 13 regiment or 13 brigades. That might be what these guys are, because I don't recall building all of these. Here's a New York brigade. We'll bring these guys to Alexandria, or maybe we'll build another force. Start building another force in Washington. A New Jersey. We'll bring those here. Okay, Pennsylvania. We get 2 Pennsylvania Reserve here. What are we doing in Pittsburgh? Maybe we'll bring these here to meet up with these other forces that we're sending down this way. that's our force in Denver. That's a pretty decent force here. West Virginia Defense, an artillery battery, and some... I don't think I need the militia, but I'm going to take that cavalry unit and the artillery unit, and I'm going to give those to Blinker, because Blinker's just got infantry. I'll railroad them down there. Here's these two West Virginia militia units. Guess we can send one of these guys to Fairmont here. No particular reason not to. Maybe send the other one to Clarksburg to kind of beef up the defenses there. We can even give him a choo-choo ride. Some Columbus, some Ohio troops here. Should we start to... Yeah, we probably, now that Ohio is or Kentucky's opened up, we probably ought to start beefing up this force down here. Sweeney's Brigade, Williams Brigade. Okay, this is a bunch of units we put in here. Whoops, not the garrison. Union detachment. They're not completely ready to go just yet, but I think this was a force that we had originally had intended for St. Louis, maybe. So let's send them down to here, and then when that other artillery unit's done, and then we'll start building Lyon's force into something, and we'll go after Jefferson City and Springfield here, weather permitting. Morgantown, we have some Pennsylvania, two brigades of Pennsylvania here. Militia, I think, is really all they are. I'm going to send those over here to Morgantown or to Clarksburg as well, and so that Milroy can finally get some decent forces. He's pretty. Here, there's our cavalry. We'll put them again, but we get this Maryland Brigade, which I was going to start building up another DC force. So let's do that. Railroad him down there. Humphrey's just hanging out here. He's in not too bad as a blocking force here. We're going to put at least a division here once we're able to do so. Stone, he's just going to sit there. Asbeth, back in Lexington. Now he can, I mean, these guys are really, their cohesion is just gone. So I'm going to sit this guy, we're going to put him on passive, get rid of this evade combat thing. I'm actually going to stick him into Lexington, the town itself, and let these guys recover. We do have our cavalry here, which gives us a detection of 3. What do we got here? It looks like we have just 1 brigade, possibly cavalry. Where'd Price go? What's down here in Springfield? We don't know. Here's a thought. Let's take this cavalry. How's our supply situation is good. We're going to put them on a defensive and retreat if attacked. And we're going to come down here and scout Jefferson City with the thought that maybe Lyon, once the supply situation, everything is straightened out, that maybe we'll come up that way. Let's take a look. We do have military control over this area now, so we're able to put our supply through here. We do have a depot here that we're going to want to put a garrison in. We do have a militia regiment with us. I'm going to stick that in Rolla itself as a garrison for the for that depot, so that they can't just walk in and take it. The weather is clear. What do we have here? Do we have anything we can really send along to Well, we could, but nothing of any great value. Possibly this brigade of volunteers here. It's not a great amount, but I don't want to strip St. Louis too far down. We'll put him in there by rail, bring him up and right there. Hurlbut. Now, here is a case where this is all opened up for us. Munfordville, we have, you see this little icon that says it has industrial capacity. Let's take a look at that. We have a powder mill, which gives us ammo supply and a little bit of money, and then the town itself is not inconsequential. So I think that's something we would definitely like to take before we allow the Confederacy to get it. So let's take, we do have this Kentucky Volunteers. Let's add you into there. We have this militia garrison that we'll leave there, so we're not leaving it completely undefended. The loyalty is really good in here, 100% up here in Jefferson. Start getting a little. It's not too bad. Loyalty's good here. The military control's a little iffy. It's just barely controlling it because. Pardon me. Okay, I'm going to send this unit down here to Munfordville. Can we rail them in? Yeah, we can rail them in. When they get here, we're going to repair this railroad here. We'll have to do that. Build defensive works. Entrench all friendly units, provided they are not besieged. That might have just been a waste, but it is what it is. These units here are now able to move. The Camp Dick Robinson. Let's take this militia unit and leave that in Lexington. And the cavalry unit, I think we're going to send over here into this region and have them repair that railroad, so that we have a nice supply source here. Do we have a depot? There are no depots in this area. Not since Cincinnati. So we'll probably want to put a depot in Louisville here, I'm guessing. That's something we're going to want to think about. Doing good on time. There's Lyon again. Yeah, we're just going to leave Lyon there until his other troop catches up. This guy we're going to put on sentry. Sentry. Through with him. Through with him. Yep. 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 What are we going to do with you guys? We need to send some of these. Now we're going to get a whole stack of generals in at the beginning of the year, but we do have more generals here than we really need. So let's take some of the lower ranking ones, lower seniority ones, just because this is not the best job in the world. Maybe even take a couple of the supply wagons, because I don't think we need quite so much supply right here. I wonder if we can move these guys by this redeployment, and see if we can bring these, say, to, what if we brought those here, and then we can kind of disperse them from here, give some of them to St. Louis, some of them maybe to Kentucky. Yeah, so we can do that. Nelson, he's just going to hang out here. These guys are just going to hang out here. There's Morel's Force, Nelson. Okay, so we've got all these. We'll go through our gunboats in, oh, we got some gunboats in Louisville here. I am going to send these guys down to Cairo here and just, well, let's just have them sync up with these dudes. Here's our transports. Here's our other gunboat squadron that needs to resupply. Here is our fleet sitting in, our little squadron here sitting in Chesapeake, in Fort Monroe. I'm going to stick these on passive just so that it'll remind me that these guys need to sit and recover a little bit. Transports there as well. Andrew Foot's units, he's doing real good. The Atlantic Squadron, the supply is good, cohesion is good. Palmer the same. The merchant ships here are doing good. Let me see what his supply is good on him. These two units, they're in Fort Pickens currently. Haven't picked up supply yet. And this other squadron, oh, this became available now. A big squadron here in New England. None of these. Oh, here's this guy that's building up. Okay. So let us take this New England squadron, I think, and bring them down to Fort Monroe as well. And then we should have a large enough force down here that we'll be able to shuffle units in and out of blockade. And these guys. And whatever I'm going to do with this. Oh, the Augusta we'll put in here. Do something with them at some point. The Atlantic Fleet. There's not really much here. We transports. Farragut. He's a fort runner. That's something. Okay, so I think we're good as far as movement goes. We've still got some time left. So hit pause here, and then let's hit the production. Where are we at on production? Let's take a look at what's in the pipeline here. Springfield and Alexander. I think those are out west, going up to Cairo and whatnot. We've got a bunch of New York infantry getting ready to come in. What is this? This is that blockade squadron. We've got some cavalry in the next couple turns. Much more infantry. I think we want to see if we can build some more ironclads, maybe. So let's go back to the northwest and naval. River ironclad. And let's see about building another couple of these here. Okay. We do need to get more rail, because we're short on rail. So before I use up all of my war supplies, let's do that. So that's probably gonna put us out of being able to build anything else. We're just not gonna have the war supply to do it. In fact, actually, let's come back here. Let's take this one guy here. I think we can just hit delete. Did that work? Unit successfully canceled. Okay, so we canceled that production, and we weren't charged anything because it was just on this same turn. So I think we need to get some more manpower here. What do we got? We don't have in Kentucky? We don't have any artillery, and I don't think we have any cavalry. So I think that's called the southeast is Kentucky. If we actually wanted to build some Kentucky units here. What could we build in Kentucky? Oh, we can build some infantry brigades. We can build some artillery. I wonder how much artillery we can build here. 3. And there's no reason to, why don't we just build a little bit of infantry there. And that's going to use up all of our money and all of our war supplies, so that's going to be it as far as production goes. Let's look at our activities again, whatever you call these guys. I'm going to try to, which has a chance of success is 50%. So I can't actually put these in here anymore. Wonder why that is. Cities, city regions with 25 to 75% loyalty, but we can't put it in there. It's not green. But Central California is, but that's not too bad. Southeastern California, we can't place it there either. I wonder if since they were just there, we can't do it again. I don't know. Let's go and look back here. See if we can put these anywhere. Yeah, let's try getting that in there again. Gettysburg, 25%. Yeah, that's not going to be a problem. See if we have anything over here we can do. Build redoubts. A redoubt inside a friendly, unbesieged city. I think that's just some pretty hardcore defenses. It's like building something maybe like Vicksburg level defenses, perhaps, is what that might be. Okay, so I think we've got plenty of all of this built. Do my save. And I think, since it looks like we've got about 5 minutes left, let's go ahead and run the turn here. Keep an eye on what Justin's going to do here is primarily what I'm concerned about. To see if he is going to decide to wander up north. It does have, something to think about. Too late now. We did have that issue where we were supposed to take Manassas prior to the late September turn, or mid-September or something. And with this force here, we might have been able to do it. I totally forgot about that. We might have been able to give that a shot. It looks like Magruder. I wouldn't be surprised if Banks got hit before he got out of there. We'll have to see. I think he probably made it. Army of Tennessee. So they've already got an army forming up. There we go. Baylor's command. So he's moving out here. Magruder's force down here. Mahone's brigade, Kanawha, West Virginia. Oh, golly! I forgot to move any troops into Columbus and Paducah. Whoops. Shenandoah Reserve. Hickman, Kentucky. So we're probably, yeah, that was a mistake. That was a pretty big oversight there. Oh, yeah, they're definitely on the move in New Mexico now. And looks like we're on the move here in Indian Territory coming up through Kansas now. Yeah, definitely. They're definitely starting to come up here. Kentucky. They've possibly take Columbus and Paducah. Yep. Winchester. It didn't look like Johnston moved north out of the Shenandoah Valley. Hampshire, West Virginia. Okay. So we can maybe go through the messages. We're still going to run a little late, but I think we'll be okay. Northern papers howl after lack of immediate offensive. Well, you know what? We were expecting that. So we lost 10 national morale because of that. Runaway slaves enlist in the U.S. Navy. Gives us 2 tons of war supplies and 5 conscript companies. We may increase our rail pool again. So that's that. Whatever that thing that had been that it was supposed to be every 6 months, it definitely is not looking like that's the case. I'm not sure about that. I wonder if they decrease the effectiveness of it and then made it available more often, but haven't changed the tooltip. I don't know. We may charter civilian ships. Confederacy's building new arsenals. We got a couple more brigades have been formed. U.S. generals may now form divisions. Okay, that's going to be a great thing for the next episode to be, once we're able to form divisions. That's going to be good. Cease operations in West Virginia. Okay. What's going on here? Anything specific? Butler reverted to defense. Burnside's force suffered wear and tear. So I wonder if the weather is bad up here or something. First Maryland, everybody's just arriving. These are just our arriving, nothing specific. Ours are redeploy. A lot of stuff is now active. Santa Fe militia have been trained. 5th Indiana Volunteers. This is Halleck training people up. Atlantic Squadron relieved another one. Training of French's Brigade. Now, we didn't get any of these messages for McClellan, so I wonder if that means that only happens if you remain stationary, because he didn't train those guys up, the training messages. So they captured Columbus, but not Paducah, and neither one of these are strategic cities. Looks like we have one brigade and some cavalry coming up here to try to take Paducah. I should have jumped across the river last turn, and I totally spaced it out. So we're going to have to fight for them. Doggone it. I wonder if we can get into Paducah before whoever is trying to get into Paducah. Okay, United States of America has divided to restrict severely citizen rights in Baltimore, Maryland, attempting to calm down the population. So now our Unionist sentiment is higher than Confederate sentiment. That's nice. There's our telegraph line messages. Those take, I believe, about 5 turns. It was added 4 turns ago and ends in 2 turns. So that's 6 turns before that actually happens. Transport ships, merchant ships, raiders have been spotted. Okay. Okay, so this looks like a good place to stop. We've run the turn, we've looked through the things, and we're able to form divisions. So that can be a big part of what we talk about next episode. So I think I'm going to call this episode to a close, and I'll see you next time.